James Booker, you were born around December 17th, 1939.
Sure it was.
Same year Jelly Roll Morton died, right?
Almost.
Almost?
Yeah, I think it was around 38 when he really died.
Oh, I see. I'm sure that you probably heard and performed some of his pieces too. Is that true?
Oh, no, that wasn't necessary then.
I see. Not then, no. But when you were coming up, after you had learned some classical pieces, I know you started going out and hanging out around a particular radio station in town, WJMR Radio. And
that and WWEZ, you know, where they had Dr. Daddy-O, Jack the Cat, Jacqueline the Kitten. And I was around there more often. And what is on my top priority when you want to mention things around that time was Larry McKinley, Ernie the Whip, because I was there more often on drives. You know where that was, sure. On the, you know, like during WMRY days. I was much better then at classical music, you know.
You formed a group around that time too that started performing at that station, didn't you?
That was 1 year later when I was 14.
And what was the name of that group, you remember?
Booker Boy and the Rhythmettes.
Who was in that group with you?
Art Neville, Curtis Graves of NASA in Washington, D.C. He's working there now.
The saxophone player, right?
Yeah, he played alto. And quite a few other people, you know, like we had it eventually got to where we had a 10-piece group.
Really?
Uh-huh.
And what was the things you were playing then?
Oh, I don't remember that far of my musical repertoire then.
You were into the New Orleans rhythm and blues, starting to get into that at that point?
Sure.
And you would hear probably some Fats Domino.
Our influence then was becoming familiar with what the Chipaka Shawees were doing then.
Sure.
We had people like Warren Jake Miles. You remember Warren Miles?
Yeah.
And they were slowly but surely rising, man, you know.
No, Sugar Boy Crawford and that group was great.
Yes,
they really were.
And
yeah.
Art was also performing much later with the Hawkettes. You remember them?
Sure.
They performed on Louisiana and I forgot whether it's Dries. I think it was at the Nightcap. Maybe 10 or 15 years later, the Nightcap was still going on. And it was around that time that the Neville brothers were really thinking about getting on their own.
Was it at that same time that they came out with songs like Mardi Gras Mambo?
Uh-huh.
You want to perform that for us?
I don't have any of that much together.
Oh, yeah? Okay, that's okay.
From those days.
Yeah. And then you went on the road with a bunch of people also. Well, also you started playing for Dave Bartholomew over at Imperial Records, and you were playing some of the Fats Domino tracks whenever he was out of town touring. Can you tell us something about that?
I like to get to the progressive days anyway.
Okay, we'll get through this as quickly as possible.
Is it possible?
Okay, you want to skip on up into more
the
recent
Dave Bartholomew
times?
days.
Oh yeah, well let's talk about that right now.
Yeah.
That you're with Imperial and you're playing some Fats Domino tracks.
Sure, because that was done around the time I was 14, and I got heavy into that around the time I was 20.
Yeah.
That's what I think we should talk about now.
All right. I bet there's something in your repertoire you might be able to pull out to perform for us now. Some Fats Domino stuff, maybe one of the pieces that you performed in the studio with Dave Bartholomew and his band.
Sure.
I'd love it.
What would you like to hear out of that?
The Fats is back.
And what's the favorite song from there?
I don't know.
Now, that one wasn't done with Dave Bartholomew. That was around the same time, you know, like 3 or 4 years ago from then. That was one of the songs that I composed. Is that the one you really want to hear?
Whatever you like.
All right. Honey, from A to Z. Something about you keep it worrying me. Today you love me, honey, tomorrow you don't. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. I think you're so swell when you will. So swell, mama, when you will. So swell, mama, when you will. Yeah, you just stay sick so long. Keep the knifing and you're jiving too. True love is never gonna smile on you. Yes, it will sometimes if you're thinking right. Pull out your hair, but you wonder why. It's 'cause you're so swell, mama, when you will. So swell, mama, when you will. So swell, baby, when you will. And now you just stay sick, sure long. Fool I am not to put you down. Now the way you do me, it's the talk of the town. If you love me like you say you do, how could you love me and abuse me too? I think you're so swell, baby, when you will. Yes, you are so swell, mama, when you will. I said you're swell, oh swell, baby, when you will. But you just didn't sing so long. Could we skip to that? Hold on, it's cold, won't you hold on? Yeah. It's been so long since you have been gone. We're going to the Beatle period.
Go to it.
If your Bonnie, she lies over the ocean, if she's Mona Lisa or the fat man, yes he was. Mr. Domino, don't you hear this? If Fats was here, I think if he was here, he would do something almost. Blueberry Hill, did you say that? This is from the Dave Bartholomew period, when we did one of the Fats Domino things without Fats. was really Fats Domino presents Dave Bartholomew on Blueberry Hill. The moon stood still on Blueberry Hill. It was done by the arrangements of basically Wardell Kazare. He was our high school band director, if you want to get back to 1953 and 54. And what led to his direction around 57. Could we talk about that a little while, since the piano is like it is and circumstances really have been where the piano tuner couldn't get here? I think we should talk more musically.
That's fine if you feel like that. Just want to remind everybody that they are listening to WWOZ Radio 90.7 FM here in New Orleans, and we have a special guest today, not in the studio but downstairs at Tipitina's, Mr. James Carroll Booker. And there was a rendition of Blueberry Hill, which James played on the original recording session of. And going from that, yes?
That was around 1968.
68?
Sure.
Oh, yeah? All right, if you say so. And, you know, one of the things that's always amazed me about you and your music is the way that you combine so many pieces.
I think it was around 61. Yeah.
You know, one of the things that amazes me is the way that you combine so many pieces. Sometimes you'll be playing classical and you combine that into jazz and you combine that into rock and roll. And, you know, I think that's really thrilling whenever someone gets to hear you do that.
Well, when it came to that, very fortunately, we had Wardell Kazare around. You know, that was around the time Xavier Prep was an all-boys school on magazine, you know, 5116. It's an all-girls school now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a choice between Ellis Marcellus. You remember Ellis?
Sure.
In the jazz days?
When they had the new jazz quintet and those people?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We all were about to graduate.
Hmm.
And this was around the time that rock and roll and rhythm and blues were making a basic transition. Around that time, we're going to get to the rounder albums that are out now and available.
Right. All right. And the rounder record that James was talking about, there is one rounder record which is available now. You can pick it up in local record stores, and it's a re-release of a record that was recorded at the Montreux Festival in 1977, which has a lot of great songs on it. And soon to be released on Rounder Records is an album that James recorded recently here in town with local musicians, including Johnny Vodakovich on drums, Jim Singleton on bass, and Mr. Alvin Red Tyler on saxophone. I'm not sure who else was at that session, but that's something I think that you can expect to see out in January, and that's going to be on Rounder Records, and it's going to be a real recent recording of Mr. James Booker. And I don't know if that record's got a title yet, since it hasn't come out yet, but do you know if it does or not, James?
Yes.
What's the new title?
Classified.
Classified. I love it. And that's, of course, a song that you perform too, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, there is a song named Qualified by Dr. John.
Yeah.
Remember that?
All right, I don't remember it at the moment, actually.
All right, went like this.
Oh, you're right.
My version is like this. You ever come to my house, knock up on my door? Somebody's gonna tell you, baby, that I don't live there more. Said I know. How you really classified? There ain't no lie. So glad that I know how you classify. Some call me crazy, some say that I'm really out of my mind. They don't know where I'm really coming from.
James Booker, live here on WWOZ 90.7 FM in New Orleans. And on this record that you're going to have coming out on Rounder Records, James, this is performed with a group. And was I wrong in saying, let's see, the people I know that are on the recording are, what, Johnny Vodakovich on drums?
Red Tyler.
Red Tyler on
and
alto?
Jim Singleton.
And it's a quartet, the
Sure
four of you.
is.
All right. And I know some of the songs you told me they're going to be coming out on that are songs like Hound Dog
Uh-huh.
and the Warsaw Concerto and a real mixture of New Orleans songs. I think some Professor Longhair songs too, huh?
In addition to Hound Dog, you remember the Big Mama Thornton version?
Yeah, I remember.
Uh-huh.
I'd love to hear a James Booker version of it too, really rocking out.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, come snooping round my door. You just a old hound dog, come snooping round my door. You can wag your tail, I ain't gonna feed you no more. You made me feel so blue, you made me weep and moan. You made me feel so blue, baby, made me weep and moan. You ain't looking for no loving, all you looking is for home. Oh, look at that. where's that hair? One night we walked around the town. Everything got kind of brown. She didn't have one thing, you know. She had one thing, it's still she had another. She was bald head. Where's that girl's hair? Bald head, damn right she was bald headed. And I want to know where's the hair? Or was that a wig? She wasn't. That's why, just like I said, it was actually impossible, or it sure was possible. Let that be said that it was herb and all that. That's how she got bald head. Now. I know the girl had common knowledge of the fact that she was bald head. She made a cat's brow when he got bald headed. I want to know it really is true, or somebody else did more than likely. I really couldn't say. She was bald head. That's what she was. Yeah. Her old man said that she hung out around the time was, I think it was Advent they were concentrating on. You know she was bald head. Where's the hair? It's in the barber. I said it was in the barber shop. I think it was Dixie's. Is that right? Did she drink a little beer? Did it have any scotch in the milk? Did it come from Molly's?
Probably.
Is that around Bourbon Street?
Close to it.
In fact, don't you know? And didn't she know that she was bald head? Where's that girl's hair? So I said it was bald head. Where is that hair? Bald head. Oh, no. I said, look at there. Where is that hair? They said she was kin to. You know who? Susie Q. Tipitina, don't you hear me calling you? Said now you're 3 times something, baby. Isn't that a little 22? She's going down to the river. Well, one water around the Mississippi goes round and round. Now, if I can't find my sweet little bird, I just might jump overboard and drown. That's what we had in the background, since that's only a sound effect. If that was a real train, it would have said, choo, 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 why can't we chew a little Tipitina, Tipitina? Don't you hear me calling on you? Yeah, now you 3 times 7, baby, and you know what you want to do. I was standing on the corner of Rampart and Canal, just loving and loving all those Creole gals. PC. Let it all hang out. Oh. day. She made love to my daddy. He was a rascal too. When I was a young boy, about the age of 9, yeah, I said she and he well got together. Don't you treat me wrong, come and love you all night long. That's what I'm gonna do. What I say, alright. If you don't do right, see the girl with the diamond ring, she knows how to shake her thing, alright. If you don't do right, they all coming back. If you shake that thing, tell your mom, tell your pa, we got to integrate in Arkansas, all right. Shake that thing, all right. Shake that thing. See the girl with the red dress on, boogaloo's bang bang all night long, all right. She's doing right. What I say, what I say, what I say. Tell me what I say. Tell me what I say. Tell me what I say, baby, what I say, baby, what I say.
James Carroll Booker III here at Tipitina's live on WWOZ 90.7 FM here in New Orleans. And James just gave you a great sample of some of the things that are going to be on his new record coming out on Rounder Records in January, I believe it's going to be. And there you also got a taste of listening to James and how he is so incredible at blending different tunes together. He started out performing Bald Head, a Tipitina's, Professor Longhair song, and then into Tipitina's, and on and on.
Is it really up to me?
You can take the mic, you can do whatever you want to with it.
All right, you know, it is true that I was born on December 17th, 1939 at Charity Hospital, and unfortunately, I wasn't quick to point out that Jelly Roll did die around the same year. More than likely, everyone could verify that he died around 1938. Jelly Roll also went around Biloxi, Mississippi, where I was raised by my mother's sister, and nearby Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. And the gift really did come out. We all found out one day when I was allowed to enter St. Rose de Lima, the Catholic school that I attended in Bay St. Louis. They're doing very well in certain areas from time to time. I had a sister, you know, a Catholic nun to teach me. Her name was Sister Carissima.
She was into gospel, huh?
No,
No?
she was, in fact, she was a white sister. And unfortunately, I think she's dead now. And she was very much in charge of things around that time, and she was very comical, very comical. And if you want me to point out some of her features, there were many freckles on her face.
Yeah.
And she made everybody laugh. This was around 1947. Could we get back to that area and how things were happening? Well, I was taking classical lessons. That's when I really began taking my lessons on the piano. And I had to go to a lady named Natalie Piernas. Her uncle came from Cuba. And he had a very, very long beard. He was old. He was almost older. Could we say it like that? Like about the Lent,
Sure.
the season. And he lived in the back room. And he
Back
was...
room down at your house?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, of her house.
Oh, I see, yeah. Okay.
Yes. And my sister and I went there together. Betty Jean Booker. You want to talk about that?
Sure, whatever you want.
All right, Betty Jean was 6 years older than me. It really was 5.5. She was born in 1934. And she was much better than me. She played trombone, she played piano, she played trumpet, and that was the time that I learned to get on trumpet by a brother.
Is she still living?
Oh no, she died when she was 33. That was in 67. No, it really was 66. My mother died in 67. And we went to school together. Betty and I, we were attending St. Rose. And Betty was in charge of many activities. And in fact, she got married kind of young. She was around 15 or 16. And things really got going good for her. She became a beautician. Yes, my mother was too. My mother worked on First and Galvez. That's where I went to school in 1949.
You lived over on Galvez, huh?
Uh-huh.
Didn't you play some of your first gigs over at that club not far from there, or actually the boys' club, the Pentagon?
Yes.
Yeah?
By that time, I was 14.
Yeah, I see. That was a little...
Yes, that's when I joined the Musicians Union. They're responsible for what happened, I could say, from 53 or 54.
Oh, yeah, you were basically playing gigs from the union jobs, huh?
Uh-huh.
I see.
Yes. We had some people like Carol Joseph. He died. He was a trombone player. He went to St. Augustine, right here in New Orleans. And many things were done by that band, the Hawkettes. Things got beautiful around that time. You know, the Hawkettes and the Chipakashawees, all those bands had got together. That was 53 or 54.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very fortunate period.
In '54, Fest started making some recordings too. Huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you probably got to hear him around town. Your sister, or your sister, was it your cousin? She was the one that started bringing you out to hear some of the music, didn't she?
Yes, that was around around Dewdrop Inn.
Oh yeah. Who were some of the people you'd go hear?
Ray Charles?
You met Ray Charles once, didn't you, when he came into town?
Sure.
When was that?
That was one of the geniuses. That was one of the real geniuses. Ray Charles.
Still is, huh?
Oh, he's more than a genius now.
Yeah, you're right. Would you like to play a Ray Charles tune for us?
At the drop of a hat.
I love it.
Oh, come back as if you didn't know. Baby,